I'm not sure if you guys watch some pro play lately, but the priority of Ahri has really been increasing. And not only in the competitive scene, but also in solo queue from Korea, people are blind picking Ahri on the spot, and one of these players is Chovy. So today we're going to take a look at Chovy's VOD at how he plays Ahri. So this is an Ahri versus Cassiopeia matchup. In the isolated 1v1, this is a pretty hard matchup for the Ahri, but that's completely fine. Because we're not really looking to kill this Cassiopeia in the 1v1, we're rather looking to create win conditions on the side lane and win the game through that. So let's take a look at how Chovy does that. He starts the lane off by getting good quality trades. He knows his level 1 trading pattern is stronger than the Cassiopeia with the electrocute. He does the auto attack W, auto attack onto the Cassio. And that puts him in a way better situation. He wants to also preferably have a slight shove into the Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia doesn't have the best gank setup, and he also doesn't have the best gank threat himself. So he's completely fine shoving the wave right here. That actually puts him in a situation where the Cassiopeia cannot really trade onto him, and it makes it a bit easier for him to play the lane. So let's take a look at this initial first few seconds of the lane, where I think he super outplayed this Cassiopeia. So first of all, let's take a look at this sequence here. He gets hit by the Cassio Q. He knows that the Cassio is going to E him, so he throws his combo. He gets the electrocute. Beautiful little sequence. And right now the Cassiopeia is looking to be aggressive, dodges the Q, hits his own Q, and right now we're in an amazing position. We're playing around our cooldowns and Cassiopeia is not able to catch up. So this is already an amazing position because Cassiopeia in the 1v1 should have a slight edge over the Ahri, but we're already beating her in the trades. That means we can now have the full control over the minion wave, and eventually this will lead to us having priority and us being able to do stuff on the map. So right now we can just bully the Cassiopeia off from the wave. Cassio is forced to take a slightly bad reset, TP's back. Chovy knows this, so he also shoves the wave and takes this nice little reset after. He doesn't go for a reset. He plays the ward first. He wants to stay in lane a bit longer. That's also completely fine as long as he makes sure that he doesn't get traded on by the Cassiopeia right now, because he's definitely in a bit of threat range. So he's forced to drop some creeps like these, and the previous one, he actually gets this. He's hovering for safety, and the wave is actually bouncing back into us. So let's see if Cassio made a mistake here. So if you're Cassiopeia, ideally what you want to do is you want to hold the wave on your side right here. And if you're able to do that, then you can force the Ahri off the wave with your increased kill threat over the Ahri. So in hindsight, if we look at it right now, it was actually a pretty genius play by Chovy from staying, because he's really wrecking through these resources of the Cassiopeia. She's already used one potion and he managed to get the wave back into his side. So he's actually in a very chill spot. He can just chill. Cassiopeia is even sharing the XP with the Thresh right now because Cassio is getting in a bit of an awkward position. So we're getting massive leads here on the mid lane in the 1v1, and that's pretty impressive. So we're staying even longer. Maybe he tries to wait for Lost Chapter. He doesn't wait for Lost Chapter. He has to take the reset. He goes for Lucidities plus Refillable Potion. Okay, pretty interesting buy. When Ahri was meta a while ago, people were mainly running Sorks on her because otherwise she lacked damage. But then the ability of the durability update happened and she didn't really do enough damage anyway. And right now it's interesting to see that Chovy opts in for the Lucidity boots. Maybe he goes for an even more facilitator mindset with the Everfrost build. That is what I suspect. But let's take a look at how he's going to do it. So he knows that the Cassiopeia right here, we TP back to the lane. We know that the Cassiopeia needs to reset from this point onward, because otherwise she's going to be in too much threat in the lane right here. And there's two things that we can do right now. We can either let the wave come back into us and deny Cassiopeia a lot of CS, or we can hard shove and deny her a bit less CS. So if we would be playing a Victor in a situation like this, it would be good to let the wave come to us and just deny her the CS with that. But since we're playing Ahri and we're playing a roaming champion and we're closing into level 6, it's very, very good that we're actually shoving this wave, even though it's a cannon wave, because right now we got a beautiful opportunity to do something. There's not really an active play on the map, sadly, but that's still completely fine. We can now hard shove the next wave if we want to, and we get a nice little plate. So we're shoving this wave. We placed a little ward in the meantime, and we can now look for a bot once again. Bard died, so there's not really an active play. The team isn't really doing too well. So what I would be aiming for if I was playing Ahri in a situation like this is I would be trying to make plays happen with my ult around possible win conditions. Illaoi, it's a bit of an isolated matchup, but definitely possible. I would mainly be looking for my Jinx and for my Master Yi to get them ahead. It looks like Chovy opts in to roam top right here. Personally, I wouldn't have done it. Illaoi doesn't have the best gank setup. Imagine if he was bot lane right here. That would have been way, way better. Let's take a look at, let's break this one down. Right, so he moves top, Cassiopeia sees this, and therefore she doesn't ping bot. So if he would be, like, Chovy is the best, right? But I'm still gonna critique him. What I think that he should have done here is, I think he should have shoved the wave, fake roam top right here, and now we turn back behind here and we'd follow the Yi towards bot lane. I don't think Illaoi is going to be a ring condition. I think it's mainly going to be Yi or the Jinx. So I wouldn't put too many resources into top lane and rather go to the bot lane right here. If we would be bot, we definitely get an assist or two, or maybe even both kills, and then we would be in an amazing position. This wave would have also been a cannon wave, so that would have been a really insane game-winning roam. Yi still got the playoff, so that's still something nice, but it could have turned out worse. So we return back to the lane, we got a nice XP lead over the Cassiopeia. Nice little sidestep on the Q. Love watching this guy's micro, like it's crazy, look at this. It's beautiful. Dodge on the Q, walks up, hits both parts of the Q, gets an additional auto attack. This Cassiopeia is getting absolutely dismantled by Chovy. Dodges the Cassio ult. Gets ganked, sadly. But it's still okay. Ideally, he doesn't ult. He might even be able to kill them here, actually. I think he can walk here. Yeah, so Cassio is so he can just shove the wave. He actually stays in lane, which is... Okay, so a lot of people would reset on this wave. And that wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad, but there's a better play. And it's crazy that he recognizes this, is staying here is actually a better play. Because we know that the Cassiopeia doesn't want to base on this many minions right now. She wants to catch them in the tower, and she should be safe to do so. And Chovy doesn't have his spike on the Lost Chapter yet. So I think it's actually very good that this guy stays in the lane right here and tries to either pressure the Cassiopeia off the CS or get some plates. And he's not under any kind of gank threat from the Viego at all, because he still has his ultimate and flash up. So this is completely legal and a very, very, very good play. And he's not really using any abilities onto the Cassiopeia because he knows that the chance of him hitting something on her is actually quite low. So he just stays here, pressures her, keeps his head cool and attacks the tower. It's really genius, actually. And if he uses his abilities and misses, then he has no mana for his ultimate and he can possibly get ganked, and that's something that we want to avoid. So he hits the tower. Viego is still in the area. We hit the charm and we just run out. Beautiful. The wave is now coming into us. He spots a kill opportunity on the Cassiopeia. The Cassiopeia flashes. What are we doing here, Bart? Okay, wave's coming into us. We decide to hard shove it regardless, which is completely fine because we're an Ahri and we can definitely do that. We get back with the Lost Chapter and we're in a pretty solid spot. We have farmed well. Sadly, we do not have ultimate right now, but that should still be fine. What I would be doing right now is I would try to look for my ultimate real soon and try to get a play with my Yi or my bot lane going. So what we do is we pink ward bot side. Why do we pink ward this bush? We pink ward this bush because we're a roaming champion. And what we then can do is we can then duck into that bush after we shove the wave. We have at the moment more wave control than the Cassiopeia. We can duck into that bush, be out of vision, and we can then permanently pressure enemy bot lane by just hovering there. We don't even have to commit for a roam, but just hovering in that bush and staying out of vision really pressures them to back off. It's very, very confining to play against. So let's take a look at what he does. They get the enemy pink wards. Sadly, cannot defend their own, but he has the sweeper, so he can clear all the wards around here, which is very good. That means that if he hovers bot side right now, he knows he's going to be safe and out of vision, so he knows he's definitely pressuring the enemy jungle or enemy bot lane. So Thresh is mid, and Thresh is a bit stronger than this Bard, so it's pretty hard to contest the wave right now. We also don't have any vision topside. We suspect them on Herald. Viego gets the Herald. There's not much to do against it. The top lane is kind of feeding. So we just gotta accept reality right here and understand that there's not much that we can do. Which is completely fine because we still got a possible win condition on our bot lane. Let's see what happens here. So the enemy team actually decides to make a play onto the Illaoi. Rookie mistake. Don't make plays around the Illaoi. Korean challenger. And we can capitalize on that beautifully. We get the kill onto the Viego. We deal massive damage on Yone and we're back in the game, baby. Let's go. So perfect. We now turn back to mid. We catch a few waves. We're almost at our Everfrost gold. And then we would be looking to take a reset at our Everfrost gold. Take a plate. We shove the wave. We're pressuring the Ahri a little bit. We don't have to reset right now. We have full vision. She is definitely under threat. We deal a lot of damage with our current combo, and she's out of resources. So if we land one charm, she's in a massive amount of trouble, and we can do that because, wait, that was a sick animation cancel. Let's see how he does this. Auto attack, W, E. Alright, so if you're playing the Spirit Blossom Ahri skin, this seems hella cracked. So let's take a look here. Auto attack, W, and the E is practically invisible. That's a crazy one here. And a very nice kill for Chovy. And right now the enemies are in a massive amount of trouble. So he gets the kill. He greets a little bit for another plate with some false sense of security, but the enemy top roam is there. We dodge out on the Thresh hook. Viego is very behind, so he is not able to get the kill onto us. But Yone is absolutely smurfing and we sadly die, and I think we give a shutdown. I'm not entirely sure. It's Korean. Nevertheless, small mistake, but it was a very, very good play of Chovy regardless. Bard saves the little tower, and we can now TP back to mid lane, collect all this farm. We got ult back up, so we can now make an aura play. Bot lane died, so one of our win conditions just dropped a little bit. So the game is getting pretty hard like this, and the only one that's really making a stand here is us, since we're the only one really ahead. Should still be doable. We got the possibility to make proactive plays right here, but we definitely got to do it, otherwise we'll just lose track of the game. Alright, so we shove, we move towards bot side, we shove this wave, we swap with the Jinx, very good swap. We don't want to be against the Aphelios, we'd rather be against the Cassiopeia since we're way stronger than her. And now we can just shove and move on bot side. So we get tricked by the little Cassiopeia in the bush thing. Was a very nice Everfrost. He quickly turned around so he didn't get stunned by our ult, but we do get grounded, which still puts us in a pretty awkward position. That means that we have to force our ult. And we barely stay alive. So that's very lucky. That's extremely lucky. And our jungler comes around and about, and we get the kill into the Cassiopeia. So it was extremely lucky. If we die here, actually, pretty sure it's game over. Pretty sure it's game over. And a review. So we stay. We spot the enemies making plays around mid. Team wants to FF. We reset. And we go for a Banshee's Veil secondary. That's quite an interesting item. I think the reasoning for that is because they have Trash as well as the Cassiopeia. I'm not saying it's an ideal buy. Probably would have went for like Cosmic Drive or something like that. But why not? He probably knows what he's doing. So what we're going to do right now, shove a move. Try to make a play around the mid lane with our ultimate. Maybe with our team. There's not really much happening. We keep our CS and our XP extremely high here. Let's see what he does here. Okay, so this was a pretty nice all-in. We don't have the charm, we don't have the Q, but that's fine. He knows he can kill her. So what he does here, right, is he ults to dodge the initial part of Cassiopeia's Q. That means she doesn't get the empower damage with her E. Dodge her ult, hit her with the Everfrost, hit her with the charm, dodge another Q, and because we have a few untargeted abilities, we kill her. Beautifully played by Chovy, actually. Extremely well done. Knows his limits very well. We get the Banshees right now. Our entire team is having a rough one, sadly. We do get top tower. We're getting pretty rich here. We're also extremely farmed. I don't know how he always does it, but it's a very nice trade. We TP bot lane after resetting. So right now, I suppose we go for interesting buy. Quick charm. Moves on to the Viego. Gets another kill. Sadly misses this charm. It was a good attempt. Probably wouldn't have mattered really. He still has his ultimate. Although this skirmish seems kind of over right here. Felios gets a bit greedy. He dies. Massive shutdown. Alright, so we're really racking up the gold right now. And we're definitely putting ourselves in a position to be able to carry the game. We play with the Yi. We get a catch onto the Viego. Massive catch. We get the tower as well. It's really going well. The enemies are now skirmishing just blindly. Beautiful charm. Dodges the Cassio ult. He does it every time. And just backs off. Massive. Really well played once again. Like the amount of mistakes that he makes is very low. Okay, so he opts in for the Horizon Focus. Interesting build. Enemies are on the Baron. We should definitely be able to contest this. This is hella grief from them. Okay, so he starts with the charm. He takes it extremely slow. He doesn't even ult right now. Everfrost right here. Holy shit, that was so crazy. Okay, so this is beautiful skirmishing right here. So what we do is we just take it extremely slow. We know that the enemies are in a bad position right here. They're in the Baron pit. They're with 4. Cassio is not here. This is a terrible call from the enemies. Then we have an insane Bardar. So first of all, amazing charm. We blow up this Viego. We get a quick little reset on the Jinx. So he sees that the Jinx is getting engaged on by the Yone. Beautiful little Everfrost here. We kill the Yone as well. We ignore the Cassiopeia from the side. We see that the enemies are getting low in the Baron pit. We ult in. Our abilities hit the trash. Our non-targeted abilities, our automated abilities hit the Aphelios. We clean everyone. And we also get the Cassiopeia and the Baron in the end. And this is a game-winning play. Game-winning skirmish. End of review on this point. Crazy good game by this guy. Overall, what we really saw right here is how good Chovy is with his micro. Like his micro is absolutely insane in this game. A few more things that we recognized is that he was very good in lane. Like his laning was almost perfect. He really knew his resets. His trading was immense. He knew when he was under threat and when he was not under threat. And he used that to get a lead over the Cassiopeia, and he used that lead to eventually carry the game. Main criticism for me was that he missed out on a bot roam. He might have recognized too late that maybe he needed to make a play on with Master Yi and Jinx. That would have been a bit more efficient. It was a free double kill on the bot lane. We got only 1 kill. Maybe it would have turned the tides of the bot lane a little bit, where that our bot lane would have gotten massively stomped. But in the end, he carried the game himself by making picks with Ahri. That's another thing that you can do. So I'm gonna make this into a series. I'm gonna do more VOD reviews like these because I think these VOD reviews can learn you and teach you a lot about the game and a lot about mid lane. Just looking at the professionals, see how they do this. So let me know what you guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode, if you guys are going to enjoy this series, if you guys have any questions or anything else, any comments, leave them down below in the comment section. And I thank you all for watching, and I see you real soon. Bye bye.